The animation industry is exploding. In South Africa, several animation studios have won international awards that are fueling the boom in our growing animation industry. The highest grossing locally made films by far are animated movies. There are many types of animation, as a simple search on the internet will reveal. 2D, 3D, and stop motion are the most common, with other studios producing highly specialized visual effects. The interest that African animation enjoys has been a long time coming, with major network and broadcasters like Netflix, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney now investing seriously in growth on the continent. Cape Town and Johannesburg are the main hubs in South Africa. But now, the landscape of animation is broadening to Durban in KwaZulu-Natal.
Hi, my name is Claire Louis. I'm the owner and producer of Katanimate Animation Studios, based here in Durban in South Africa.
Katanimate Animation Studio is Durban's first 3D animation studio. Began in 2017, they completed their first short film, funded by the KZN Film Commission, called Midnight Escapade.
My name is Jackie Mutsepe. I am the Chief Operations Officer at the KZN Film Commission. The animation industry is something that we've been developing for quite a while as the KZN Film Commission. It's part of our broader film sector strategy for the province. It falls within digital media, and we see animation as a good and an obvious place to start as we grow in this area. It's very much in line with the 4IR future, where things are going in terms of technology. So we have been working in the space of animation, supporting animation initiatives. We do have an animation hub within the Film Commission, where we have several internships for people that want to further their skills in the area of animation. And we also have a bursary program with the University of KwaZulu-Natal, where we offer bursaries for students who want to study animation. As part of our strategy, and it's something that's working quite well, is that those students, once they graduate, they then become part of the incubation program within the animation hub that we have here in the province. And through our film fund as well, we've also funded quite a number of animation projects that are actually being developed here in KZN in the province.
The beginning for Katanimate Animation Studio was not an easy one. After initially setting up in the suburbs of Durban, Claire moved to the offices in the KZN Film Commission.
I travelled for many years, and I came home to complete a master's degree at Wits University in 3D animation. I ended up working in Johannesburg for a few years, and that's just learning to produce, essentially. That's what I was doing there. Eventually, I made my way back home to Durban. But Durban's my home city, and it's fantastic. But in terms of the studio, honestly, It was really, really difficult to set that up because while moving here, 2017, when I first got here, I could not find any animators, and certainly not 3D animators. In Johannesburg, I could put out one call and boom, I'd get 20 answers. But in Durban, no. Yeah, that really was a bit of a shock.
Hi, my name is Paul Mtembu and I'm a 3D production supervisor here at Katanimate Studios in Durban. When Claire first told me that she was opening a production company, an animation production company here in Durban, we sort of sat down and started talking about how are we going to implement the 3D production pipeline to best be introduced to the different skilled animators here in Durban, of which that I found that some of them were not so clued up about the production pipeline, about like what it is and how you use the systems that get developed within the pipeline itself, like how you use them to help you finish your project, basically.
It typically takes more than 50 skilled animators, sound designers, and writing staff working on the average television show to produce one animated episode that we see on our TV screens every day, and easily 10 times that for an animated movie. What exactly does it take to make a 3D animated show or short film in Durban?
I work with the art style that incorporates animation. Being a visual development artist is fascinating because you get a script, and from a script you basically get a chance to imagine and brainstorm different ideas and concepts and designs. How can I bring this to the audience in a new, more fresh light, and to see that being developed through the different stages of the pipeline. That's amazing.
I am a visual development artist, and I do the storyboards and stuff. Basically what that is I do sort of these drawings which explains what's going to happen within scenes for the animators to go off of, so they know what it is they need to do in order for them to do their work.
3D production supervisor supervises and oversees the team, because within the team you have the different skilled people who have chosen to specialize in their different fields that we have in the animation production, because the animation production itself has the different processes on how we move from point A up to point B, where you get your modelers, you get your texturers, your riggers, you get your animators, and then you get finally your rendering team. So now, as a 3D production supervisor, is that you would develop these tools that would help these people, let's say these different skilled people within the team, to better work with each other and to better communicate with each other on how they're going to implement the actual project's needs from beginning up until the end.
I'm a 3D modeler. At least that's what I do the most. If you're starting to learn 3D animation or any 3D program, modeling is probably the first thing that you will have to do. And then most people just like to jump that step and then do something else, do rigging, do texturing, do animation. Me, I love to model it, making it creates this form. To me, it's everything, to be honest. Yeah, so if you do it, you think it's easy, but there are a lot of things involved, that different type of topologies. So, for example, for animation, you need to have your model all made in squares, your quads. So, that's modeling.
I got into rigging because in my honors year, we had a group project in KZN, and then in the production pipeline, my part was rigging. I was the only one who could do it, so I did research. I didn't know anything about it at first. So I did research, a lot of research, and then started messing around with it, and then eventually it turned out perfectly. So what rigging is, it's basically just putting bones to a character, After a model is done, you just add bones so that they can move, joints and all that, and then they can be like animated. Yeah, that's basically it.
The most fascinating thing about being an animator, I think, is the process of bringing something to life. You're taking a character that's, basically lifeless, that's just still, and watching it come to life, I think, yeah. I think as animators, we always get inspired by each other. Like, we watch each other's work. We see the different styles that we work with. And I think it's like a healthy competition. So you're always watching other animators' works and you're always trying to improve your own, and we critique each other's work, and it's really fun that way.
I'm not an animator. I can't draw in fact, both of us can't draw. That's why we're part of the technical support. My name is Pierre Bonwa, and I'm part of the technical team at Katanimate Studios.
My name is Sandila Koza, and I'm part of the post-production team in Katanimate.
I don't know what it's like to animate, but I take the animator's work and I put it to good use. Once the animation is approved, I have to then remove the rigs and bake those actions into a clean mesh. We do that because it helps to optimize the scene and improve render time. Once that is done, then I have to set up render layers and pass it on onto our compositor. Then we get to the choice. That's excitement in the choice I get. That's the thing that I like about it.
As a compositor, I'm essentially the last stop in the pipeline. So what I do is pretty much I take the render layers from Pierre and put them together into one final image, and that's the image you see on the screen. Oh yeah, sometimes if the script calls for it, I need to create visual effects. Personally, I feel like the best part is getting that teamwork feel. You do what I can't do, and I'll do what you can't do. And that sort of brings us all together. Like communication like that. If we're all passionate about making animation and making cartoons, it all comes together naturally.
So people kept telling us how expensive it is to produce animation, but we didn't actually know that, until we started working in the industry and actually producing an animation, we learned that it cost easily upwards of 1 million rand for a 22-minute episode.
Is animation a male-based industry? I would say in South Africa, yes. However, I have seen a lot of females, but not in South Africa.
The animation industry is a male-dominated industry, but we have been trying to get females interested. It's just been a very long road and a long journey to get that female interest. I am finding that a lot of it is based on culture, and the way the industry is perceived is that it appeals more to males than females. There are certain aspects of animation that is it's the artistic aspect of it that naturally just appeals to females, but it's really not that much, especially not here in KZN. From what I've seen, or what I've experienced rather, it's been very difficult to keep the females interested.
What I think makes animation successful in Durban is still an untapped market in terms of animation. There are animation studios in the other major cities of South Africa, like Johannesburg and Cape Town. And when I actually wanted to study animation, Cape Town was the only place I could actually do animation. When finishing my degree and finding out that there's actually a studio that opened in Durban was actually a great opportunity for me to move to a city that was much more closer to where I stay. It gave me a lot of opportunities, and I feel like there are other children who also want to do animation, and they're also facing the same challenges of that you don't have a family member or somebody that you know who stays in Johannesburg or Cape Town.
I wanted to do animation, but Durban didn't really have an animation industry at the time. So for me it was quite a struggle actually. She was saying about my journey. It was a tough one. I had to do like a lot of other jobs before I could actually get in here, and doing a lot of freelance animation work. So for me, I do feel like animation in Durban still has a lot to grow, but it's nice to see and to actually be involved in the fact that it's starting now. Like it's becoming a new thing, and I think it's going to be successful.
Yeah, when I first wanted to get started in animation, I was looking for a place to study, and the only really big place I knew of was in Cape Town called Triggerfish. So I had to move there. I got my first job there. After that, I got another job in Johannesburg, so I moved there as well. Yeah, so it's been all over the place. And the nice thing about working here now is, I get to be closer to home, which I really appreciate. Yeah, it's hard to underestimate just how lovely it is to be able to work close to home, and the way of life that's very unique from Cape Town or Joburg. It's Durban. It's really nice.
It's much more convenient. Like going out to Joburg or Cape Town or everything, it's a different lifestyle altogether, and it's quite exhausting if you by yourself, and like it's overwhelming trying to commute, and like you need your social life, you need your family, you need your friends, and it also that helps being creative and more open and free about yourself, and it allows you to be you. That's the most important thing about being an artist. You're comfortable, so creativity flows much more easily.
I think what it's done, it's helped us to upskill filmmakers in the area of animation, to upskill animators. It's helped us to become somewhat of a center for animation. It's something that we obviously still need to do a lot of growth. We're very far behind your Gauteng and Cape Town. But it's helped us really to grow in the space of animation. It's also allowed to keep at least some of our animators here in the province, so they are actually able to work on animation projects in KZN without having to go, to other provinces to seek employment. But we do realize that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and we do have a strategy, actually a growth strategy specifically for animation in KZN.
Our animation show that we're working on at the moment is called Time Sliders. And Time Sliders is a show about 3 kids from different parts of the African continent who end up in an explosion and they end up back in time. And it's to highlight African history, to incorporate the legends and the kings and queens that built the continent of Africa. But in an animated sense, we are using all the different African cultures, the different art styles, and just the way these kids talk, the different language that we find in Africa now, today, not hundreds of years ago. We bring in the present into the past, and we bring in the past into the present as well. One of the things that has been a big challenge here in Durban is, as part of the animation movement that is happening at the moment in the world, South Africa has just been awarded an unprecedented amount of animation shows, but from major broadcasters. So the Disneys, Nickelodeons, the Cartoon Networks, they have all seen they've seen the potential that we have here in Africa. and especially in South Africa. So I'm hoping that by moving to Durban and moving to an area that is not known for animation, that this is where we can start making a mark. But not only that, the talent that we have in KZN, it's phenomenal and untapped.
Our animation strategy is very clear in terms of how we want to see animation growing in the province. We do have animation projects that we're supporting. These are self-made projects with people's obviously original ideas, and these projects are being developed and supported by us. And we want to see more of that because we do want to see more of our local stories being told in the form of animation.
I would say American films stage stuff in such a way that South African children or us, for instance, don't relate to it in a way that the UK would relate to something or the US would relate to something. So seeing it coming back to Durban, that is amazing.
Something else that we are looking at more strategically is how we can become a service hub for animation as a whole. As you know, animation needs a lot of people working on a project. You have these huge animation films coming out of Hollywood, coming out of the UK, and they typically would employ people actually from all over the world. And we want to see ourselves growing as KZN as a hub for that type of servicing of animation content. So to have a healthy mix of original content as well as serviced content that we will support in the province. We're also very keen on growing co-productions as part of our Africa strategy, growing co-production projects with our African counterparts on the continent. We have been able to meet quite a number of African animators who actually run animation studios in their country, and we're looking to see how we can form those partnerships, those alliances, so that we begin to start co-producing animation content with other African countries.
In the future, I see myself doing personal projects. You know, there's a lot of stories and development, trying to have a better understanding of other platforms and other techniques and other skills. And once that's done, starting my own project.
I also want to develop my own style because that's something that I really want to do, develop my own style that everyone will see that, okay, this is done by so and so. Yeah, I think that's the most important part that I want to achieve in the next few years.
So one of the things that we're trying to do with the support of the KZN Film Commission, with the support of the National Film and Video Foundation, the National Arts Council, and other government entities, is that we are starting with this hub that we've began. We've got just only about 12 animators at the moment. We're hoping that very soon this will be increased to 40 because of all the initiatives that have been starting with the education on the training of animation, and then we'll be the next stop as our studio. We're the next phase that they go through for about 3 to 4 years to gain that valuable experience. And from there, they will probably move on to different studios, or they will stay with us depending on the projects that we're going to be working on. So, yeah. I see the interest, or not just the interest, but the future of animation in Durban. Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Oh, hello, children. Hello. Come inside. Come inside. Good to see you.
P. Hello, Auntie P.
Oh no! It's raining, Auntie P.
Does this mean we're not going camping in the backyard today?
Oh, not today, Tink. It's not. Oh dear. Come. You know what causes thunder? Well, I'm sure you know all about fairies, don't you?
Yes, we know fairies.
Well, fairies have wands, and sometimes those wands break. especially when the fairy is granting many, many wishes.
Like a fairy godmother.
That's right, Kip. Sometimes the thunder is very loud and other times it just rolls. The louder the sound, the more powerful the fairy's wand was. The thunder is just the noise the fairies make as they work far up there in the clouds. It can't hurt you.
What about lightning?
Oh, that's different. When they are working as they fix the wands, sometimes powerful sparks escape through the clouds and we see it as lightning.
But we have to stay inside when lightning happens, isn't it?
That's right. When it thunders too, because it will rain. Even though rain is good for the plants and the trees, it can make little children very, very ill.
But I really wanted to go camping.
Oh, that's our cupcakes.
Yay! I love cupcakes.
Okay, children, now go and wash your hands.
I love my cupcakes.
I love these cupcakes.
Auntie P, the next time it rains, can we camp inside?
That's an excellent idea, Pearl.
It's really nice not to be scared.
Yeah, that must be the boy fairies one, because it's the loudest so far.
Oh, my giddy aunt.
No, the tooth fairy's wand is the loudest because all children get presents from her. Nuh-uh, it's the scout fairy.
There's no such thing as scout fairies.